On the vid, My State of the Union Address, Twiggy269 asked, "When are you going to write a book so that I may buy it?" Actually, I have been writing a book. It is a refutation of Newt Gingrich's book, Winning the Future, a 21st Century Contract with America. I considered calling it Two Integrated Treatises of Government. In the former, the false principles and foundation of former Speaker Newt Gingrich and his followers are detected and overthrown. The latter is an essay concerning the true extent and end of objective civil government. Unfortunately, too few people would understand my humor. For those that did not follow, that is of course an adaptation of John Locke's title. However, my preliminary working title is Conceding the Future, Gingrich Republicans and the Evasion of Individual Rights. When I started the project, I drafted the following introduction. As the proclaimed age of Obama begins, why write or read a book refuting Newt Gingrich's agenda for America? To borrow Gingrich's title, my book is concerned with winning the future and the ideas that will make that happen. The current intellectual vacuum on political issues has resulted in the ephemeral cult of personality enjoyed by Obama. As we enter into yet another weak Democratic presidency to be dominated by Congress, an affirmative agenda needs to be advanced to replace the unprincipled, pragmatic, flailing and failing that dominates our current debate. Following Obama's election and the Democratic advances on the Hill, I often heard the historical precedent of Gingrich's contract with America hopefully asserted as a paradigm for checking the Democratic ambition to dictate the terms of American life. During the election season, Gingrich's organization American Solutions provided one of the few jolts to Senator McCain's campaign when Republicans became animated with the chant of "Drill here, drill now." Gingrich's track record of success in setting the political agenda establishes him in a leading position to define the alternative to the Democrats' program. In the House, he led the building of a majority, ending 40 years of Democratic dominance. Upon becoming Speaker, he set the policy agenda and effectively leashed President Clinton's policy ambitions. In the 2008 election, he demonstrated the ability to advance a single issue to dominate the agenda and compel the Democratic Congress to end a long-standing ban on offshore oil drilling. Further, unrestrained by congressional ethics rules, Gingrich has established and is growing an influential grassroots organization dedicated to developing and implementing new government policies. In contrast to that demonstration of ability, Gingrich's history is also filled with failures to actually implement lasting change. The Republican congressional majorities are gone, as Democratic out-of-control spending and scandals were followed by Republican out-of-control spending and scandals. The opportunity to restructure federal liabilities offered by the short-term revenue windfall from the capital gains tax cut were squandered. Despite the legislative promise, welfare as we knew it remains. His policy successes lack a lasting, positive legacy in reality. Why does Gingrich suffer a disconnect between rhetoric and results? Simply, it is his ideas. His reputed strength is actually his weakness. Should his agenda, the so-called 21st century contract with America, become America's agenda, then his ideas will also become America's weakness. Following tradition in political writing, this book is written and organized as an examination and refutation of Gingrich's. My purpose is to identify Gingrich's principles where they can be found and then identify the correct principles to be applied, based upon the concept that the purpose of a proper government is the protection of individual rights. I will integrate and organize these correct ideas around a paradigm which I call Francisco's hierarchy. Related to the book I'm working on, thinking of a book cover as an example of a visual concept to give a flavor of the criticism within the book. I share the following ideas with a potential artist. Gingrich sits in the posture of Rodin's The Thinker, except his features and body are not concentration embodied. Instead, Gingrich is slack, slouched, and puffy. His eyes are out of focus and crazy to represent his disconnect from reality. He has the manner of a dirty, savage Neanderthal in a soiled American flag loincloth. On his bicep is an I Heart God tattoo, or something upon that theme. He is larger than life, sitting upon the house wing of the Capitol, the South Wing, as a representation of his demagoguery, panderer to popular opinion. Gingrich is an admitted and proud poll follower. Beneath his bare and muddy feet is a parchment of the U.S. Constitution with the Bill of Rights prominent and particularly soiled by Gingrich. Several groups of small bipedal elephants in suits are on the hill below. They would be doing as a symbolic representation what Republicans at their worst do: crucifying somebody, burning books, abusing a pregnant woman, beating a gay couple, wastefully burning piles of money, marching school children in regimented, obedient, conforming order, holding a gun to someone's head to make them pray, breaking scientific equipment, etc. I think that picture illustrates the working title of the book, Conceding the Future, Gingrich Republicans, and the Evasion of Individual Rights. I will be posting more about my book as it comes to completion at concedingthefutureblogspot.com.